Monday and I am driving a Volkswagen Touareg, and I thought I'd give you a sort of initial impressions on, or driving impressions, or kind of a brief overview of the Touareg. It's a big ass car. It's been a while since I've been in anything this big, and you're acutely aware of it when you try and park. Parking bays are like really narrow, not really built for cars like this. In all fairness, so the Touareg is fitted with a million different sensors, so it beeps at you quite chronically when you get too close to pillars, cars, whatever kind of object you may or may not drive into. It's got an air suspension, so it is extremely comfortable. It's got all kinds of height adjustment stuff you can do if you go off-road. It's also got like a whole bunch of driving settings. I've had it in comfort for most of the time because it is just like a really comfortable car to drive. But you've got normal, and actually I'll tell you exactly what they are. So there's eco, which kind of sucks. There's comfort, which is really comfort. There's normal, which is less comfortable but not bad. There's sport, which is kind of actually quite cool. I've put it in sport once or twice. It's a 3-liter V6 diesel engine, produces just shy of 200 kilowatts and 600 newton meters of torque. That's a lot of power, and it hauls this car quite comfortably. So sport's cool, keeps the revs up, gear shifts are a lot more responsive, throttle is more responsive, steering is slightly firmer, and so on. And then the others, there's sort of an individual mode where you can kind of set different settings, so you can have the steering light but the throttle responsive, like whatever you want. It's got an off-road mode. The off-road mode has 3 different sub-modes. One is sand, one is gravel, one is expert, or you can just leave it on auto and it'll sort of sort it out from there. Then lastly, there's a snow mode. Snow is also useful for driving in mud. So that's the sort of driving modes. As I said, I keep it in comfort. It's really comfortable. The interior is amazing, actually. Big screen there, nice screen here. Steering wheel is good, ergonomics are great. The center console kind of reminds me of the A8. The first time they kind of did that whole luxury cruise liner yacht type vibe in the front. You know, this massive gear lever, cup holders, space for keys and phones and wallets over there. There's a center armrest pinnacle here, which has even more storage space. It's a really comfortable car, and it's big. Did I tell you that it's big? It's like really big. So you have a very elevated driving position. It's a cool car. I'd buy one of these. In fact, I might just do that. This is the car I want. It's R1,000,000. So I've driven the XC90s, and I've driven the Q7s, and I've driven Cayennes, and this is the one that I'd buy. I think it's at a price point where it's cheaper than any of those other big SUVs, even the Land Rovers and the Range Rovers. It's got all-road and off-road capability. I'm not a hardcore 4x4 enthusiast, so the chances of me disappearing into the mountains and needing a disco is relatively slim. So this would do exactly what I need it to do. It's just cheaper and nice and comfortable, and it's got an electronic tailgate, it's got keyless entry, it's got this panoramic sunroof, which really does go on for like days back there. Everything's automated, the lights are, it's just like, I can't speak highly enough of the Touareg. It is by far one of my favorite cars that I've driven in the last year or so. And I actually recall driving the previous generation one. That had a different engine. That had the better engine, and it had a 4-liter V8 diesel engine in it. The torque in that, I think, was like 900 newton meters. The torque was insane, but that was such an awesome car. That's kind of where I fell in love with the Touareg for the first time. And this is like that car, just so much better. In fact, if you really wanted to score yourself a bargain, now's the time to buy the previous generation Touareg. But you got the cash, then this is by far the car that I would spend my money on if I was buying a big SUV.